I said, I'm an hour also.
Enso say
Excel timi yenu no.
Enso say
Excel home touch dey and timi yenu no.
E was afọ ya ndwentwen so uni bibi. Say obese won saka Excel home touch for from one home so 0244 682098 0244 682098 na ma wawade sorte se na yenua ba na wade asotwintwan ne besi bia besi ye twen no the review abreye the course ejebusa for ye the newspaper review no na ebremo jo and then na wode my
so ya mwade mamu ana no pe na paper esi meni ma no pe Ghanaian Times.
Okay.
And when you look at the front page of Ghanaian Times, the one that is written in bold, I won't say, you see this, when you go to Word, they have this kind of...
Yeah, yeah.
So it says, flood wreck or puts havoc in Accra, destroys property, renders many homeless.
Wow, shit.
I want somebody can and say so no. Another one too here is that
you're listening to Playhouse Radio.
Traders,
the best.
We can't access NBSSI funds.
Let's say loan na buying ma for no.
Some traders be our more major markets in the country are complaining that they are not able to access the funds. Also, still on the front page of Ghanaian Times, we have the president saying, "I want Ghana to be the cleanest city in Africa by end of my term."
Onjaika, because what is happening in Ghana, no, that is not what we are looking out for.
That's what
sanitation minister cry here no. Here sanitation minister nangaza cry.
I don't know. So we also have the CRI applause winners, organizers of science maths quiz competition. That's what we have on the front page of Ghanaian Times.
Yeah, Yuma.
Kobby.
Yeah.
So moving on to the daily graphic now. On the front page, or say, use legal means to challenge election results. Asante Hene. It's an honor to edit Daily Graphic Wednesday. Dr. Ifa Kaufman, NSMQ, Omo quiz mistress. No, they be to Wednesday. On an obe edit Daily Graphic.
Wow.
And I say, ICOMS makes strong showing. Rakes in 3.7 billion revenue in 3 months. It's in a Daily Graphic front page. So I don't know.
That's great. Then Kusu inside my details on that.
Okay, so moving on, when you move to page 3 of the Ghanaian Times, we have 6 busted over illegal armed importation from Turkey. So we have 6 individuals. Okay, so let me read the first paragraph. So 6 persons, including a cleaning agent, were on Saturday arrested at Tema for allegedly importing arms and ammunition into the country from Turkey without proper documentations. So Hanom no Apache say Nipa 6, that be 6 individuals have been arrested from importing illegal arms, and it seems they did not do proper documentation. So they have been arrested by, I believe, the Ghana Revenue Authority, the Ghana Customs, and the Ghana Marine Police Unit. So I want to use this opportunity to also say a very, very big thank you to the Ghana Police or the Marine Units, the Customs, the GRA, and those security services at Port, because you could see that because it's getting to election year, I believe this is the time where criminals, rascals, those people would like to bring in arms to cause, let's say, or bring in a sort of violence. So I want to use this opportunity to thank the security service at Temaport. Okay, so moving on, we have drama in court as mechanic is jailed for defilement. Sorry, the drama broke out when an Accra Circuit Court sentenced the 21-year-old auto mechanic to 7 years imprisonment for defiling a 12-year-old girl in a vehicle parked at the mechanic shop at Dakuma. So here too it says that a young man who is 20 years has been jailed 7 years for defiling a teenager who is 12 years old. Okay, so let's go. So
Abranton ready?
What's it?
Abranton ready?
21.
21.
And now girl already 12 years.
Oh. Let's also guess we be na nkrum we hu bi.
I will.
Na so ben na se nkwala na o ba na aduane o modidi lactogen kwa o motutututu. Hey.
Kobi. Nyawo kan de yampa.
Nkwala na tu abomo.
But any say o defile obi.
Oh no, that one there bia no onim. On say nkwala na o ba de bebre na nka no kre. Bebre na nka no kre. Akwala no we bia o kakobisa nse wedi ahe wanka.
But Kobi,
odimpenisem
but
kasa penim
ehwe ne kasa ne na dream kra wo hia akwala.
Oh na obi ono wa na agenda de ono onhwe.
Mami ntwamu esi. Mami ka say normally no you see the world is changing. Also the way we grow it's also changing.
Yes.
So as a result, maybe this young man saw this 12-year-old to be somebody his age.
Oh no, you can't say that. Even though the world is changing and these days our diet is also changing.
I'm not saying what he did was right, please. I'm not saying what he did was right. No. But I'm just saying, and you know, some of the things that influences this kind of activities, such an innumerable thing that is happening now, is because of one, the television.
What has the television done?
How does it contribute to it?
It contributes a lot.
How? Because in this case, it's the man caught in the act. Do you get me?
No. They said he defiled a 12-year-old and what? He defiled a 12-year-old girl in a vehicle parked at a mechanic shop in Dakuma.
How would they be in the vehicle?
They were okay.
Do you get me? It wasn't the lady didn't go there to watch a television.
Because Peter Workshop there. Then I go show Honuma. I want you to know the farmer issue where they say get you fiase mumpo.
Etimi nye fiase msa.
Say you fiase mumpo because say o chimpina say na ebusuani nimo.
And there be anya mpratun ya na ebusuani.
Sir, what did they
share?
Hey, what you be a
12-year-old lady and a 12-year-old girl. Probably or JHS2 and I say or JHS3.
Oh, but it is serious. It is serious.
Your family wouldn't approve of it.
It is serious because when you look at the body type and Kwalane this time around, they are growing with that.
You be deceived.
Yes, you be deceived.
You the guy, you have to.
Yes.
You have to
so remember to be honuma. What you have to do is say you don't really give in that smiling face when small girl says smiling show him because Kwalane is bad. Kwalane is bad pa. Endra akwala ba akukura send me message.
Hey. I send no message pa.
Akwala ba akukura send me message. Oti oyarefa. Na ono wa prayer so benya me number nkasa mi o memfa maneda. Nti o chat mo Facebook.
Okay.
Say waba Madina na hemfa na mete. Na me bo bebi a mete kire no. Uncle Peso be spending night. One of them say I didn't know Peso be spending night in war.
Small girl.
Yeah. I don't know Peso be spending night in war. Waba Madina on Peso be kofie. And I'm saying okay, do you know what we have to arrange na umbra into the and there out. Obviously I didn't know me Peso no beba.
Intini unye ubia like we discipline na what's our status we are. And like we mechanic need.
Oh, anga kpakpakpa.
Haji. And I think
it's nkwalana ngasana more problem.
And I think say it all boils down to education.
Education one, but Sisiane, I think there's this failure.
Yeah.
In the system because a lot of our parents are not doing what they ought to do.
Yes.
You see, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, we are exposed to education.
Exactly.
It's school. We actually. Yes, what do you know? You want to go and try certain things.
Yeah.
Me, I always say when parents are like, men koye. Untumi nkase men koye nkwa. Ukase men koye. Cheche uni enti a wan koye. Ebia, uni mema nkonko have sex. Uko have sex obe nyinsen. Unyinsen akwala na obeba no obeyo how ama because uni ska be hwa akwala no.
And one thing kwe say they can only say unyinsen because usana when yinsen nti no. Ebia ukọ wa obetime afim.
Aha. So all these things would have to be
exactly.
what?
I say we have to outline all.
It's like, answer now. If your mom no bet na secret now, your parents will sit you down to talk to you. I say they are shy. Or saying say, "Ebia, uko kasa asem na." Ebema akola na dream mama yede akoso.
Yes.
But that is why we have teachers teaching kids, adolescents, and all those things. But the reason why I mentioned the media here is so far as they are exposed to the media and they see all sort of cases.
Oh yes, that one plays a major role.
Plays a very major role.
So with the gadgets we are having here, that Sisi and Kwalano sophisticated gadgets or more
as 12 years, 9 years, then you see someone using a phone.
Yeah.
Even in the wake of coronavirus, you see children handling the phones of their parents.
Yes.
In the name of studying online. After studying online, what do they do? They go to Facebook, they go to the various social media.
So what is really happening?
To watch explicit videos.
Not only explicit, but also follow trends. To see what is going on. You can see this guy wearing this.
Yes.
So-called celebrities. They expose their body. Nudes. They bring out their nudes in the name of their celebrities. And some of these young ladies model these people. So what do they do? They see them doing that. So they think so that's the right thing to do.
Role model, yeah.
Mbacho memodi yo.
Let's be truthful.
Role model, yeah.
Memodi yo.
I'm not going to mention someone's name to tarnish the person, but I'm going to be.
But Kobe, it's about time. You set the record straight.
Somebody's mentor could be Jaja.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Now,
looking at the way she presents herself, looking at the way she carries herself. Somebody can be okay. Let me imitate.
Yes,
it's all about imitation.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's from this kid. So let's say if you are the role model of this, if you are the I could say my role model is John Dumelo.
Yes.
So whatever John Dumelo does, that's what I will follow.
So any wrong thing that comes in,
but that's one aspect of role modeling that we have to
work on.
We have to iron out.
So our so-called celebrities or our celebrities, should know that people take them as role models. People are imitating their action, their words, their dressing, their lifestyle, their whatever. So they have to know how they brand themselves. They have to know, because it's all about branding.
Yeah.
So they must know how to brand themselves. One, they must know how to talk. They must know how to associate with people. But if they are always on social media or Instagram live, right now almost everybody is on Instagram. So when they go on live, and you can see bloggers as well bringing in pictures and stuff like that. So these kids get exposed to it. You get it. So
and one thing about what Joel is saying is, Kobe, you see, our parents are failing. Why? Because in the olden days, at least I'm not that old, but then during our time, our parents weren't that engaged in economic activities, as like working. You see, these days they are corporate women and all that, and they don't even have time for their kids at home. So it's good to be a role model of someone.
Yes.
But then you have to know that whatever the person does, you have to model after the good. Because there are good aspects of every individual and there are bad aspects. So you only model after the good. And when you are being taught very well, when you are being brought up very well, you get to know that okay, this and this is what to do.
Yes.
These and these are what not to do. Do you get me? So when you see someone doing that, quickly you know that this is wrong, and you wouldn't even go all the way to model after the person.
Because Charlie, they are nkwala amaba omo ye no, it's massive. Like, hey, Andra medwin am like
shock you.
Na kwala we pa.
Shock you. Inti wan kasa wan put boundaries bia.
Na sir.
Be hu ana wa cross the line no. Na nye BCSC. Inti I think say it's something worth talking about.
I mean we oba na ba me fi enwumre am sack you.
Quickly.
No matter the kind of relationship we have, I'll sack
Quickly.
you. Because I don't need you over there as at that time. Me sack you.
Me when I get to see your intentions. We say me no bekasa. So when I get to see your intentions, directions to my house grab a ball.
Intentions.
A ball.
You will get direction to my house, but Oba me sack you. Me sack you mo say ma sack you na yo ya.
The Ministry of Gender and what children, what human rights and stuff. And you should know human rights as well.
Oh yes.
I heard go with the days. When you go to SHS, then they discipline me.
Oh yeah, this time around they are buying new juma.
Let's say oh mommy for aba now papa for aba. Then let's say we go college. Max abanu akonimu.
Human rights for best sorry.
I'm telling you, human rights will get
so
this paving the way.
Copy with that. There are two aspects of it. You see, even the Bible says, "Spare the rod,
spoil the child."
Do you get me? But then it is also necessary we talk about this because some of the teachers they overdo it. They over punish the students. But then I say correcting. Yes. But I say we say na be bonaba. Because yen na abano straightening the case it really straightened us when we were in school back days. Because when you say ade we obey there wrong. Ye be bo aba inti no own ye. But see there the teachers are lenient based on restrictions idea to so.
Yes.
So even when you go to the senior high schools, you sports ni baby now. Do na ko SHS e ko say more. Do you get me? Because teachers in Omon Baba.
I mean, look at this. I mean, there's this video. I mean, it's trending on the social media. Osofwa oba be jina nenima o yi na se ewo nenim. I mean, it is so awful, very, very, very awful. So akwala ko hu ade we what do you think?
We say akwala so ewa adwin bi say ni obi hu bia no fele say it's right.
It is right.
It's when ya obia I explain ya che na no so no cha bo mu say ono so ye and I say obi ye kra na ono so mu say it's right into no be ye. I think say it's about time ye nyina ye be behave well to save the society.
Yeah, because even as of no, you are as of no cry, you are the greatest role model to quite a number of us in Penifo Nkwalao. Until if you are not doing certain things right, it is really affecting the entire society and the nation as well. I think say Kobby, quick one. I think say the church the church is failing us. I didn't make us see a church church it is one of the institutions and I say agents are almost to for the moral uprightness of the children. But see an Osha so the church is not really preaching on
like how to
when you go to church
a morally upright life,
fundraising,
not even fundraising. How you become rich in 24?
That one there is very, very necessary. Like you have to become rich in there.
How to become
very necessary.
No, you know.
But Oka said how to become rich. Not one inculcated into the person the right values are. When you say you have to be rich, in some crooked ways.
That's why
to be rich.
I second my brother here by saying the failure of the church. Lately, you see when you go to church, you can even at church. There are several kinds of lifestyle. There are several kinds of dressing and other kind of things that happen in church. And how our various bishops, our various fathers and pastors detail all of this. It's also another issue. So we should not say they have failed completely.
No, not completely.
But we should say, because I know some pastors and other people are also listening to us here.
Yeah.
So we urge them
they have to up
as
their game.
well to try as much as possible to try and, let's say, once a month, call all the ladies in the church, call the young teenagers in the church, bring out this kind of girl-child education, teach them. Or do you get it? Because these are the kind of things, it's not going on. these things are not going on in churches. But you have crusades, you have counseling, and the counseling, I'm not even sure somebody who is 15 years will go, because it's all about marriage counseling and whatever.
Kobe. And one thing about this is, you see, these days, the dressing of our ladies, and the churches have been lenient on it. They don't even talk about it. Why? Because of modernization. But then, Kobe, should we sit as a nation so our culture sinks because of modernization? This is a rhetorical question to all, because we have our own tradition, we have our culture, we have our customs, even though there is modernization. But then we have to harness the two very well, so that the other don't surpass the other. At the end of the day, our identity as Ghanaians is our dressing. That's one of our culture. And if you should travel outside, how Kobe is dressed, I could tell Kobe comes from Ghana, a Ghanaian or a Nigerian, based on their dressing. But then these days we've copied blindly, and we are imitating the whites, the European culture. Do you get me? At the detriment of ours, and I think we should really work on it.
Sure. Yo.
So we have over here as well. Okay, when you go to page 5 of Ghanaian Times, we have the chairwoman of the International Monetary Fund, Chris Stalin, also saying that Africa needs 1.2 trillion to recover from pandemic losses. So that is from the IMF chief. She is saying that despite Africa, we have been given some funds to cushion the economy since, because of the outbreak of COVID-19. Still, we need more funds. It's not enough. So Africa, the whole of Africa needs 1.2 trillion. You see, this is something that will get me pissed off.
Why?
It's high time we stop letting people like this tell us that we need funds. We should try as much as possible to bring up our economy ourselves. It's high time we should stop taking loans from other countries. It's high time we start doing all of this. Ghana is blessed. Even Nigeria is blessed. But see what's happening. Let's put that one aside. Let's move on to the next story. That is, Nigeria abolishes hated police unit after protest. So at long last, all the protests that have been going on right now, the government of Nigeria has disbanded the action of the police unit that were terrorizing young men and women in Nigeria. So moving on to page 9 of Ghanaian Times, I said Parliament condemns killing of MP. So here they said Parliament has only condemned the killing of member of Parliament from Honorable Hayford, retreating that their deceased-year-old request for permanent security for all 275 lawmakers. So they are trying to re-establish their statement that the members of Parliament that we have in this country, they still need protection.
Kobe, I want to comment on that.
Okay.
In as much as our leaders, our lawmakers, they need that special security. What about we Ghanaians? See, people die every day, but then we don't hear our politicians or our lawmakers talk about enforcing the laws or empowering the police to give the citizenry that security needed. But then when it's very woeful, like it's very sad, and condolences to the bereaved family. But then we must talk about this, because we the Ghanaians, we are making laws for the nation, for Ghanaians. Okay, fine. It is good to be protected. But then what protection are we giving to the ordinary Ghanaian?
You see, according to the reportage, we got to know that whilst the robbery was ongoing, the MP made himself known to them, which is so wrong. And I think in as much as you hold a vital or a major role in the society, you don't really disclose your identity when it comes to like situations like that, because maybe you might have been the goal, You get it?
Maybe you might be the prime target.
Yes, but the whole issue is that they don't really know it is you. So once you come out that this is me, they get you and they are gone.
Kobby, so let's think about it this way. What about he doesn't show up? What happens to the others?
What happens to the others?
Because clearly, I think
no,
I don't know. I don't want to make any allegations.
No, you see, he was with just his driver. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And you could come out of your car to say that I am an MP. So do not do that. I mean, even if you are not the prime target, once you have disclosed yourself that you are an MP, you are gone.
They might shoot you.
Because they know very well that if you are not gone and some other time to come when you should recover or something, definitely you might get their identity.
And if you're a member of parliament in such high,
yes, they will surely investigate and get you. So security wise, when instance of that sort is happening, you don't really disclose yourself.
Okay.
You cover yourself up, let whatever that is going to happen, but do not bring yourself out that this is me. So what should happen?
It's a worrying situation.
Moving on, we have the next story just beneath the parliament condemns killing of MP. We have election 2020. Religious leaders asked to promote tolerance. Most Reverend Father Alfred, the Holy Catholic Bishop of Navungu, Bolegatanga, also says that has asked religious leaders to use their platform to appeal to the citizenry to promote tolerance and to ensure peaceful election. So that is from Bishop Alfred from Bolegatanga.
Okay.
So moving on, we have the upstream petroleum. That is page 11 of Ghanaian Times. We have the upstream petroleum sector suffers drop in revenue. So the COVID-19, okay, so the coronavirus disease pandemic has affected the upstream petroleum sector, especially revenue inflow. The chief executive officer for the Petroleum Commission, yes, has said the industry has suffered sufficient stock, which did not only affect the economy but also affected the operations of PC, that is the Petroleum Commission. So from the chief executive officer from for Petroleum Commission also says there is a downstream flow of money because of since COVID-19 came. I believe this is not the only sector that has suffered a drop in revenue after COVID-19 came about. So we also have still on page 11 we have President cuts short for construction of bridge over Black Water. So the president has cut another sword again for another construction. So we are seeing. So if whether he retains, so Kobby,
yeah,
I would like us to be keeping records of all of this because we will keep track of this story.
Yeah.
Let's see if they would complete it. If they are not in power, let's see if the government that is come, because I believe if the sword have been cut, that means there have been money dispersed already. And so that we see if
but we know how these things work.
So it's high time we track them, because I hope the NDC said something about continuing what the others
see. All those are I see them to be mere political talks.
They are all mere political talks.
You get me? Because let's see. It's a different manifesto altogether. NPP have their manifesto, so do the NDC. You start a project. I have my manifesto. I promise Ghanaians ABC. Have to fulfill them.
Yeah.
Do you get me? So that's what is killing the nation. That's what is killing the nation.
So moving on to our biggest story of today, that is on page 12 of Ghanaian Times. Is after hours of rainfall, floods wreak havoc in Accra. Destroy properties, render many homeless. So this is our major story. I believe this is a story that we need to talk about, as we already began.
As we already said, it's a major problem, Kobe. This flooding issue, we have to talk about it once and for all, and we have to solve it once and for all. Once and for all. Anytime there are torrential rains, then the nation Accra gets flooded. Always.
When there's a heavy downpour.
Accra be adding.
Yeah, and then you see when it's okay right now because of global warming and other issues. I believe it's kind of difficult to determine when it will rain.
See, let me tell you.
At every point in time,
we should be ready in and out of seasons.
That is actually the thing, because you see the rainy seasons are somewhere in June, July, and this year June, July we didn't really experience it.
Kobe,
So
it's not even just this year. For the past 2-3 years,
it is not something consistent.
It is gradually changing.
Yes. So if it is going to find its way around October, November, December, and we know that all these things are going to happen, once we didn't experience it in June, July, we should have prepared. You see,
we should always be ready.
ready for whatever happens.
Exactly. Like when you go to the outside world, they don't even think about this. It's not even a topic.
No.
Because they are ready. Whenever it rains, they know they wouldn't experience anything.
It's because of our drainage.
Unless some other natural disasters.
Our drainage is something bad because
But
Obi
to
be
rain and get flooded,
no I got a
So let's talk about the affected areas.
Do you know, Kobe? Do you know 1 million cat thing they are going to do? They are going to desilt all the gutters.
Yes.
That would be the only solution. At the
end of the day, say Abia, so we go in change so almost.
And I make
and I mean you are say that is the failure of the assembly.
Easy. Charlie Kobe.
Joe, my uncle.
Okay, you see almost affected areas, no Adabraka, Kaneshi, Malam, Circle, Bio, Weja, Jowulu, Odoko, and other places, almost other places. Hey, I say more. Okay, so moving on to page 13, we have traders. We can't access to NBSS funds. Traders in some major markets in the capital are lamenting their inability to access government special funds set up to cushion micro, small, medium enterprises from the impact of the COVID-19 disease. So we have people, that is some market women, traders in major markets complaining that they are not able to access the funds. Okay, so moving on, we have the our first lady also. She said in a separate engagement with the first lady, Miss Rebecca Ekufu-Addo, on a campaign tour of the region last Friday, the traders complained that though they have applied for the loans, they were yet to receive funds. So
you're listening to Playhouse Radio.
Traders, and they actually complained to the first lady that they have applied, but they have not been able to receive their funds. But how many people have received the funds so far?
I think quite a number of people have received their funds, but then the majority of the applicants haven't received theirs yet, and they have been reassured that definitely
they will surely get
applied,
it. I think most of them have gone into open accounts with various banks, so that it could channel through that avenue. So sure, said definitely. So
let me go to page 14 of Ghanaian Times. I want Ghana to be the cleanest. That is your story, your best story actually.
I didn't that Ghana should be the cleanest city in Africa.
In Africa by the end of my tenure.
Accra dealing with.
Is it Ghana or like what?
Or say Ghana should be the cleanest city in Africa.
Wait. I quite remember
that was his promise.
I remember the president saying right after he was sworn in to office that he wants Accra to be the cleanest city in Africa. Accra to be the cleanest city in Africa. I presume at the end of his 4-year tenure. But then now, what do we see? It rained last Friday, and Accra is flooded. So what is he talking about?
And that is what he's saying.
No. But then you've said something before similar to that.
So,
but then we didn't see anything. So how are we sure that by the end of your next 4 years, which is not even assured, you are going to make Ghana? You are going to make Ghana the cleanest country in Africa. I think we would have believed if he was able to meet making Accra the cleanest city in Africa. With that one, we will know that okay, you have the track record of making Accra the cleanest city in Africa. So you are capable of making Ghana. What did he do?
The beans
what? The beans are full. They are not even disposed.
No, what beans?
What beans? How many beans do you see around walking in town?
If indeed Accra is the cleanest city, if it rains, there shouldn't be
any flooding.
Because the gutters are choked.
They are choked.
And what are they choked with? Isn't it rubbish rubbish plastic, that we don't really need them?
Blame our leaders. We should also blame our
No. I mean, like,
we have to blame ourselves, but we need to blame our leaders.
No, I said we shouldn't blame our leaders alone.
We have to blame ourselves as well.
We are all
but
in the problem.
In as much as we are blaming the leaders, we should get to know that there are institutions that are being situated for all these things. So once there is an institution and they are not really working, what we have to do is that we blame the government or the head of state, then the person in charge of sanitation is being blamed as well. Then you take responsibilities and ensure that the institutions are working.
Kobby, even in making this promise, it's the president who made the promise.
Yes.
At the end of the day, if you are failing on achieving the promise, we will attack you.
Of course.
We will not go to any ministry or any institution.
See, about 2 or 3 months ago, the sanitation minister came out saying that Accra is the cleanest city, like for about 80% to 90%.
Is it on paper or what?
That's what she made mention of.
But then on the grounds,
it is not happening. That day I got so furious. I don't know which part of Accra. I want to know.
Even these days, the East Lagos, they are getting flooded. Kobby.
Yeah,
they are getting flooded because they are being encroached by outsiders.
It's serious.
There's been a burden of slums over there.
Not only you see not only the burden of slums, but most people build. You see, that's why my brother here made a statement about our city planning, our layouts.
Yeah,
our layouts, and they are even in Medina here. There are some areas that don't even have gutter.
Yeah. You see, even Tema is flooding these days.
Oh yes, look at the motorway.
Tema.
And the annoying thing too is if you have gutter in your house and it's raining, you see somebody putting rubbish there.
Yeah. So what is the person to do when over weeks your bin is full and those in charge they
come around. Some are also very, I don't know what.
Okay, here in Medina.
I don't know the kind of adjective to give to that people of that sort, because
those who do
Ghana for but I just pray one day say odi tumana atoki wa junction so pe na nsuo no aba ofim na wo I mean, sometimes you don't really
happen that way.
That's the thing.
It doesn't happen. If it happens that way, you think we will be happy. It doesn't happen that way. But you know what? One day if they catch somebody like that after it's rain.
Oh yes, I remember a thing of that sort happened, and the people were jailed. Madina Zongo.
Wow.
There was this video that came out that it was raining and Mami been in a bar. Omu ball and igu. Court. Oh, na so to mean that jail sa keke.
Okay. So yeah, definitely.
So boy juma. Oh. Me
I say me na ahomete. My tree is not that good.
Don't worry. Who the can say?
Because we are doing autocritical.
Actually critical. Because yesterday I was just in my room, I was just watching all those videos, and I was like, imagine if it was you in such a situation. How would you feel like?
Play morning with KobbyWealth.
That was what I was thinking of. Shiamba Mitrimo say, if it were to be me, that my house would get flooded, what next? Because I'm sure somebody cannot even afford 3 square meals a day.
Kobby, do you know something?
And this
last, I think,
and
not to cut you short, brother, but I think last 2 weeks, last 2 weeks here, I visited a friend, and the friend was like, "Oh, Ima, Charlie, last night so a bahau, she level, Charlie, level no be I see you, mom share on Facebook no me, be this level, the name say." And I think say so those the housing project in so in your baby will be no not in the theater.
Massa.
So what I say, I think say we should really work on combating this flooding issue in Ghana as a nation. Kobby,
yeah.
Daily Graphic nation in same moment. But near the best I say use legal means to challenge election results. Asante Hene. The Asante Hene Otumfo Osei the second has admonished losing candidates in the December 7 general election who may be aggrieved to use legal means to challenge the results instead of resorting to violence. He said Ghana's democratic credentials were at stake, but expressed the confidence that the country would pass the test once again. Otumfo Osei gave the advice when the Vice President, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, paid a courtesy call on him at the Menchia Palace in Kumasi yesterday as part of a 4-day tour of the Ashanti region. While in the region, Dr. Bawumia will, among other things, inaugurate some projects undertaken by the Akufo-Addo administration. Engineer Asante Hene so ade atu edwa amagana fo nyina any politicians ne say omulusia in case cause there obi na baby ni na others ne elusi say ulusia use legal means to challenge the election results. In other stories, so it's an honor to edit Daily Graphic Wednesday. Dr. Ifa Kaufman, the quiz mistress for the National Science and Maths quiz, Dr. Ifa Kaufman has said it is an honor for her to be the guest editor of the Daily Graphic on Wednesday. I quote, "I am honored and excited about the role, but I am also a little apprehensive because I have never done anything like that," she told the Daily Graphic in a chat. Dr. Kaufman, a senior lecturer and founder head of the Department of Biomedical Engineering of the University of Ghana, will have the last bite of the cherry in the guest editor series initiated by the Graphic Communication Group Limited as part of its 70th anniversary celebration. Intinia ifi ehonom so eba enono yako insemfufuma the first lady Mrs. Rebecca Akufo-Addo say vote for NPP on December 7. The first lady Mrs. Rebecca Akufo-Addo has urged the electorate in Tema to vote for the New Patriotic Party (NPP) in the December 7 polls. She recounted some social intervention initiatives that the NPP government had undertaken in its first term, which included the free SHS, the Nation Builders Corps, which is NAPCO, one district, one factory, and the Planting for Food and Jobs programs. When Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was seeking power in 2016, they said he could not implement free SHS. Today, our children are enjoying free SHS because he wants to equip them with knowledge to be productive Ghanaians in the future. NAPCO and one district, one factory have also brought jobs for the youth who were jobless, she noted. Mrs. Akufo-Addo made the appeal when she visited the Tema Central and West constituencies as part of her campaign tour of the region, Greater Accra region. Itinia first lady Sude Abetu Jano, and we weren't expecting anything lesser than this from her camp. Intino to the camp of the NDC, so or see vote Mahama for development. Professor Opoku Ajeman, the running mate to the flag bearer of the opposition National Democratic Congress (NDC) for the 2020 presidential election, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajeman, has urged the electorate in the Eastern region to vote massively for Mr. John Dramani Mahama in the December 7 polls because of his track record. She also called for support for the party's parliamentary aspirants in the region. Professor Opoku Ajiman, who had just ended a 5-day campaign tour of the region last Friday, made the call when she visited 21 out of 33 constituencies in the region. From the camp of the NPP to the camp of the NDC, all soliciting for votes come December 7, 2020 election. Still on elections, who qualifies to contest election 2020? I think this is a major question on the minds of some Ghanaians about who really qualifies to contest election 2020. And the EC chairperson, which is Mrs. Jane Mensah, has really clarified that issue. I say the 17 presidential aspirants who filed to contest the December 7, 2020 presidential election will get to know their fate tomorrow. The Electoral Commission expects to receive verification and authentication reports from the various security and revenue agencies by the close of work today, after which it will announce those qualified to contest. The EC closed the receipt of nomination from the aspiring presidential and parliamentary candidates on October 9, 2020. Since it opened the doors for the receipt of nomination on October 5, 2020, the Commission had been vetting the forms and referring aspects of the information to security and the revenue agencies for authentication. Since the EC began the process, it has engaged the aspirants on the processes and requirements as part of its transparency measures. The Daily Graphic can confirm that the Commission engaged the parties before giving them the passwords to download the forms and fill them before submitting same. The Commission had to draw the attention of aspirants who had issues with their forms to rectify them before the close of nomination on October 9, 2020. So now to the question. The criteria for the qualification. I say picking or downloading nomination forms alone does not guarantee that one is contesting the crucial elections. The nomination forms must contain important personal details about aspirants, which will enable the EC to satisfy itself that they meet the qualifying criteria under the laws of the country. To qualify to contest for the presidency, a person must be a citizen of Ghana by birth, a registered voter, be at least 40 years old, and qualify to contest election to parliament. The aspirant must have paid all relevant taxes or made satisfactory arrangements with the Ghana Revenue Authority to pay such taxes. However, in spite of meeting such a criteria, a person cannot be presidential candidate if he or she, among other things, owes allegiance to a country other than Ghana or has been adjudged or otherwise declared bankrupt under any law in force in Ghana and has not been discharged, or is of unsound mind, or had been detained as a criminal lunatic under any law in force in Ghana, or had been convicted for treason or for an offense involving the security of the state, fraud, dishonesty, or moral turpitude. In addition, an aspirant is required to swear to a statutory declaration attesting to his or her eligibility to stand for office and the accuracy of the details provided in the nomination forms. Consequently, false statements made in the nomination forms have legal consequences. A bit of information, any education, if you ever say who really qualifies to contest election 2020 intinia yede abetu edwa enso eno Kobby
undi 40 years umbenho
Kobby unse na sin we bia ba ibinum mpese o me dual citizens obi o ha o ye citizen of Ghana no sound say citizen of US nti mayen kai tie for say we dual citizen who owe allegiance to any other country other than Ghana. Future, so our plans of becoming a president.
That's true. If
you how? Oma nya pe na say oma ko US. Now by birth you be a US citizen this and I think say omo no omo hwe ni yi
And Kenya bad.
see what you say
Kenya bad. Cry.
So there are some positions, even MP. When you are a dual citizen, I'm not sure you can contest for MP. There are certain positions in government that, so if you are a dual citizen, you won't. There are certain positions, except it's a private owned organization, but I'm sure in the government sector there are certain positions that if you're a dual citizen, you can't.
you know yanko insensemfu from say Dr. Akoto makes case for Africa coffee. A bit of agriculture in there. Dr. Akoto makes case for Africa coffee. He solicits funding for coffee farmers. Late last year, the seat of the chairmanship of the Inter-African Coffee Organization was relocated to Ghana. This followed the successful election of the Minister of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Owusu Efuye Akoto, as chairman of the African body. And during this 1 year period, he hopes to lead the organization to expand its member states to include not only coffee production or coffee producing countries, but also countries with high consumption capacity. You know, agriculture, a bit of agriculture. And so no. We there a T for we into a T for we made the last story into us. Yanko page.
You're listening to Playhouse Radio, the best.
Page 44 of the Daily Graphic. I say Ghana Library launches 10 million Ghana cedis endowment fund. The Ghana Library Authority is seeking support from corporate bodies to raise 10 million Ghana cedis for an endowment fund to support the development and activities of public libraries in the country. For a start, the government is providing a seed money of 2 million Ghana cedis, while the institution is hoping to tap into the benevolence of the corporate world to raise the remaining 8 million Ghana cedis within 5 years. The Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Library Authority, Mr. Hayford Siam, who disclosed to the Daily Graphic ahead of the launch of the fund as part of activities marking the 70th anniversary of the institution, said the Ghana Library Authority was hoping to raise the said amount to enable it to have a consistent stream of revenue to run public libraries in the country. In Kobi, we then person meje wadwen check akra Ghana Library Authority for Oma Lanchi 10 million endowment fund. On person omo de boa na akenkan library sem ne ade Ghana has seen etumpon na maybe say, do you know of any library in your area?
So let me not Kobby.
Okay.
I know one at the Accra College of Education. That's at when you're going to UPSA.
That is it book trust?
I don't know the name. That's what I do.
And yeah, there UPSA for.
I said UPSA for.
Echo Trinity around the Fidelity Bank side or.
No. Accra College of Education.
Yes.
Library.
Okay, College of Education, I guess our library.
Our library. Yes, yeah. And you sure say school no, but library so on. I said that's a Canadian for being a AC. I'm not sure about the establishment though. So any library meaning say you or Madina. This endowment fund will help. But the issue is how many of us go to the library?
How many of us go to the library? Yes. I think people are interested. Me growing up there was no library in my area. But me sure saying a library in my area.
You would have been interested.
I would be interested to go and read certain things.
Talking of books, let's say some kind of small renovations and other stuff in in various libraries would also help. You know, if you have a serene environment for learning, you get it.
Yeah.
It's very, 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 let's say, essential. So let's say there are some libraries in bad shape. There are some libraries that lack books. Some the chairs are spoiled. Even some they still use this idea. Now we have these comfortable chairs and stuff. So can restock themselves, re-establish, like I'm talking about some small renovations here and there to make them. Me, I've been to a library before. As for library, when you go there, nobody talks. When you're in the house and you're doing your own, because somebody can, yo, what's up?
Yeah,
somebody,
so that's the main reason why we should encourage the setting up of libraries. At least in every community.
I actually remember
up the reading interest
2 or
in the
3
youth.
libraries.
Yeah.
You get me? Because these days too there are e-libraries, so e-books and all that. They have to be stocked in the library alongside maybe some small ICT room so that people too will be trained in the computer, handling of the computer and all that. So I think that is really great job. Moving on to the page 54 of the Daily Graphic, which will be our last story in the Daily Graphic. It says, erase outmoded cultural practices. President tells Upper West House of Chiefs. The president, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, has called on the Upper West Regional House of Chiefs to campaign the fight against outmoded cultural practices and customs. He mentioned some of such practices as widowhood right, female genital mutilation, forced marriages, and refusing to involve women in decision making. Nothing that such outmoded practices did not have a place in modern society. And I quote, many women and girls suffer violence at home, workplace, school, and other institutions without any complaint. Others think of it as normal for women and girls to suffer violence, injustice, or deprivation. He said last Friday as he began a 2-day visit to the Upper West region. This, he said, was made worse by clinging to prejudices and certain injurious customary laws and practices. President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, the regional tour or the Kotujwa Ewo Upper West region, and no, mind you, we say Nana Addo so a human rights activist. I think it's a right call. It's a right call. Yabaka we can crown one now because for the I think during the lockdown man I say just after the lockdown yet he say some women were being brutalized. Say they are witches.
The witch camp,
witch camp.
Yeah.
And I think it's against their fundamental human rights. And FGM, female genital mutilation, and I don't know whether it's still ongoing. But I think it's about time.
Being catcher. Being catcher.
I think it's about time. You became na you movie on as a country because Sani Manino am I say on mine. So wow. Let's move on to some of the various online portals. Some nice stories be for us. So reading from the City Newsroom, or say GRA confirms seizure of 436 pistols and ammunition at Tema Port. The Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority has confirmed the seizure of some pistols and ammunition at the Tema Port. A statement from the GRA said the authority, in collaboration with some state authorities at the Tema Port, impounded a 20-footer container containing 436 pistols, 26 packs of 50 pieces of ammunition, and 1 piece of pepper spray, 40mm piece of pepper spray that were illegally imported from Turkey into Ghana. The arms and ammunition were found to have been concealed in personal effects made up of clothing, shoes, and bags, among other items. GRA, in the statement signed by its Director of Communication and Public Affairs, Florence Asante, stated that the arms were detected during a physical examination exercise on October 9, 2020, at the Terminal 3 facility by officials of the Tema Command of Customs. The attention of the Ghana Revenue Authority has been drawn to information being circulated in the media about a consignment of goods that was seized by the Customs Division at the Tema Port on Friday, 9th October 2020. The Customs Division of the GRA wishes to put on record that the container described on arrival at the Tema Port as containing personal effects, household goods, and a carding machine was flagged as red channel. After examination, 18 packages identified as restricted items were found in the container. These include 436 pistol, 2 bucket sidearms, 26 packs of 50 pieces of ammunition, and 1 piece of pepper spray. The statement noted. I think it's a very worrying situation.
I mean, it's an election year, and if such things are importations are coming into the country, especially when it comes to ammunitions, like
it's 436 pistols.
Yeah. So what are we going to use this thing for? Let's ask ourselves this question: if the state was unable to get hold of all these things, how are we going to say that? Hey,
definitely it's going to end up in the wrong hands.
Yes,
for the wrong purpose.
It has a purpose. It has a mission why they are bringing this thing on board.
I think they should be really vigilant at post, because this is not just the only one. I guess this is not just the only one. So I think they should be very vigilant, and this is a good one from the camp of the GRE, which is the customs division of the GRE. Because if this had beat protocol, they are then coming in near ABC. I think there should be more surveillance at our ports to be able to keep all these issues, because this is an election year, and when these ammunitions get into the wrong hands, a bit deep on this election year na bibia enye.
It's in there.
To the city business news, or say Registrar General begins payment to investors of collapsed FMCs. The official liquidator of the 53 defunct and fund management companies, Jemima Owari, has stated the payment of bailout funds for the first batch of investors of the companies whose licenses were revoked by the Securities and Exchanges Commission (SEC) has begun. According to her, the payment will be to investors of only 20 of the fund management companies that have been cleared by the court for their liquidation. The first batch of investors is made of 170 investors out of the 2,850 investors who had submitted their redemption request. If you were say they are beginning the payment to investors of collapsed FMCs. If you and one story from Star News, or say, to silence the media is to corrupt democracy. To silence the media is to corrupt democracy. A reminder to Kufu Ado. There is no greater tyranny than that which is perpetrated under the shield of the law and in the name of justice. This is an unknown quote when Martin Luther King Jr., an American clergyman and civil rights leader, was shot at the Lauren Motel in Memphis, Tennessee on April 4, 1968. It wasn't because he was leading a rebel or terrorist group, but it was because he was leading a civil rights movement to seek for their voices to be heard and their civil rights respected. Several other revolutions that swept the West and Europe in the early days of democratization came on the heels of suppression of human rights and fettered control of the voices of the proletariat. Most of these were bloody movements because people died for others to have their voices in the future. Like Obama asserted, the walk to democracy has never been a seamless process. This is a bit of advice Ubibia say to silence the media is to corrupt democracy, because the media is the fourth force
arm,
and as a fourth arm of government. It has to be respected as such, because we are here to educate our listeners, we are here to educate Ghanaians and to inform them and also to entertain them. This is a major role you play in the growth of democracy. Our Ghana has the media shouldn't be sidelined, especially as we are heading into the 2020 December polls. Kobby.
The media has a very great responsibility when it comes to media reportage and all. So if you ask us to shut up on issues, then it is going to be a bit bad and wrong on our part, because there's conveying messages to other people and as informing people about whatever that is happening in the country becomes something difficult, because the voice for the voiceless are all around us.
Yeah.
So that is the main goal of the media. We speak out for people who do not speak.
And even those in government, when they say something, it's the media.
It's the media that projects
it. Yeah.
So if you are saying that the media should just cut off then it means me I say there should be a day the media wouldn't do anything. And keep it mute just for one day. Just for one day. Never share the ABC.
And you see they be hiding.
Just for one day.
Because Saturday need DNA busy. Because he say there's been a robbery attack. Oh baby, it's the media who is going to project it, like you said. So what I say?
Yeah.
I'm say, oh, maybe this area I'm robbing because into police farm or rescue the situation. No more. Then I think say when the media should go on leave, internet on holidays, go on the media work. Even on public holidays, media need juma. Identity, because we are very, very, very important to the nation's democracy. And I think say it's high time journalists and I say the media would be celebrated. In the past years, we saw say and I say we heard say Ukokra even say we are journalists now babies for information how you be treated.
Yeah.
You molest and it isn't the best for Ghana's democracy, since the media it's the fourth arm of government. The media should be respected, and the media also balanced. I think sound your money I am because they are not balanced. They are not balanced.
You see, also one thing is that Obi anyone okana sema any day. That's the thing. Obi anyone more okana sema any day. So o can sembi na say ankwa mawa na ya you would want to fight it. Oh, nti bia ye ka you the enfane say ye bobo MPP ni NDC so nsensem. Then the media is indeed projecting the NDC than the MPP. MPP ni be for catcher say you are being biased.
Yeah.
But if you had projected the MPP over the NDC, and Kobeka say, oh, you are good.
Why are they?
You get it? So it is ours. Yana de Biayatin and Cheney decided on the kind of things ye can. Yes, there are times
the agenda.
Yes, there are times some media personnel they make it too obvious. Say ahana mijina.
And it's not good. Because as a media person, at least you should be neutral.
You have to be.
Even I think is it December 1 there will be a special voting. I think it's journalists and the media they will also vote, because on the election day they will be reporting, they will be working on the election day. Definitely they have a choice, but you shouldn't make your choice known to the public. You shouldn't make your stance known to the public. You should remain as professional as possible by being neutral. Even though no one can say, oh, based on issues and I say whatever model of voting I will be rely on, you have where you want to vote for or who you want to vote for.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't make it known and it's so obvious. Yes, and one can integrity as a media person it's it.
Yeah, because Charlie, maybe a human it has gotten to a very high there are a lot of states and now say countries the media is being withheld from talking.
Yeah.
But Ghana is not as such. Yeah. So if there's a need for us to look out for nyama ehu hia na yebetumi aye ho adwuma ese ehwe na yetumi ye ho adwuma so that obi abenya na sumdie.
Yeah.
Play morning with KobbyWealth. You're listening to Playhouse Radio, the best.
Yeah. Why? Samputuma putu, samputuma petre, sampatama zuku, wangadana deshe. Whatever, odebi, marabi, and nobody, wanna be nobody, and nobody, and nobody. Wanna be nobody, one body, one chogobi, wanna be chogobi, one chogodi, baba.